Senator Allen.
Thank you, Madam President and members. Senate Bill 888 is part of a package of bills introduced in the Senate in response to the massive methane leak at the Aliso Canyon storage facility. The leak was the worst in United States history. It spewed over 100,000 metric tons of methane pollution into the air, equaling that of 600,000 cars, and displaced 6,000 residents. At its peak, the leak rate doubled that of the next largest point source of methane in the United States, an underground coal mine in Alabama, and it was more than twice the methane emissions of the entire Los Angeles basin. This leak should shed light on the fact that we currently lack a statutory single point of responsibility and accountability to oversee efforts and remediation actions for disasters such as this one. Unlike an oil spill, which triggers a rapid, comprehensive response that allows California's various agencies to work together to stop a leak and deal with cleanup, we have no such comprehensive system in place for a natural gas leak. In fact, while Dogger was notified of the leak early, the Air Resources Board said it wasn't notified of the leak until November 5th, quite a while after the leak began. State officials might have more quickly understood the severity of the leak if emissions had been measured earlier. So the bill seeks to address this by designating the Office of Emergency Services as the lead point of contact for any future gas leaks. Also, given the scale of this disaster, it's imperative that the emissions be fully mitigated. And the bill requires that the emissions be paid through by fines and penalties assessed against the gas company, not ratepayer funds. So the bill has no recorded opposition. We have Republican co-author. We had Republican votes in committee, and really would appreciate your aye vote on this measure.
Thank you, sir. Any discussion or debate? Senator Morlock.
Thank you, Madam President. Last week, on May 24th, at the Budget and Fiscal Review Committee meeting, the Legislative Analyst's Office gave us a report dated that same day with regards to the OES, the Office of Emergency Services, for their budget requests. And it said OES was not able to provide the details necessary to assess the merits of many of the individual components. And then several times in the report, LAO wrote, OES has not clearly demonstrated that its existing resources are insufficient. So colleagues, I get a little nervous when I get a report like that from the LAO, and I can only conclude that OES suffers from poor management based on this report. So therefore, I'm uncomfortable in making this agency the lead for natural gas leaks. How can I when I have a lack of confidence in this office? So consequently, colleagues, I urge a no vote on Senate Bill 888.
Thank you. Any further discussion or debate on this measure? Seeing none, Senator Allen, please close.
Okay, so with respect to my good friend from Orange County, understand that part of the problem we're trying to, whoa, okay. See, there's methane everywhere. So the issue we're trying to address is having a single point of contact. We had 9 different state agencies with varying levels of responsibility relating to the gas leak response. And it was like a headless chicken. Everyone didn't know what was doing what. And so it was a very incoherent response. With regards to oil spills, we have a pretty clear set of protocols. So everybody knows what happens when there's an oil spill, which government agency do you contact, what role do they play, and they play a coordinating role amongst the agencies. So really what this is about is trying to have more coherence to the response to a gas leak, similar to the kind of structure that we have in place when there's an oil leak. So that's what we're trying to address here. So I would urge you to consider that. There may be resource concerns over at OES. Let's talk about that. Let's work on it. We're working on the budget right now. But this is what it's trying to do is have a more coherent state response to a leak like this. Does that make sense? Okay. So with that, I hope that clarifies the concern. I would be happy to take a question, or just to, with the permission of the chair, of course, because this was something that is enjoyed bipartisan support, and I would love to have your support on this bill.
With the President's permission, my concern to the senator from Hollywood or Santa Monica is you know, you get here and you're looking at things and you see things through cracks. You just get little glimmers of light. And you get a report like we just received last week, and you sit there and you go, who's running this place, and why aren't we seeing effective management and good responses to questions, and why is, on a number of occasions, whether it's Caltrans or you name the agency, I get LAO and I get the state auditor saying they're not providing information, their data is incorrect, yada, yada, yada. And so I'm sitting here going, okay, who's the CEO and who's running this state? And why would I feel comfortable? I like everything you're doing in this bill, but I'm just saying clearly that our departments need to do better jobs in getting us information and acting professionally, and I am discouraged. And because of that, I'm just as one member, screaming a little bit saying, hey, you're not giving me confidence, not the kind of confidence I had when I was a county supervisor in Orange County with my department heads. I'm not feeling comfortable. And therefore, I'm just voicing my frustrations, and I want to thank you for giving me that platform, and thank you, Madam President.
You're welcome. And Senator Allen, a very brief close, because you've
Absolutely.
actually already closed and you invited the additional back and forth.
Because my concern was that his concerns were not really
I got it.
apropos to the
And
bill.
we hear it was a broader concern.
And ultimately, what I think you will, if you look at our response, our agency's response to this leak, I think you'll get even more concerned. And we're trying to address that response. We're trying to make it more coherent, more efficient, more effective. And then you and I need to work together to play an oversight role over OES and others to make sure that they're fulfilling their duties that we give to them under our responsibility. So this is trying to address the confusion and the frustration I think so many of us share. It was a confused response from the state. We had too many agencies playing too many different roles, and that's why we've got bipartisan co-authorship and support, and I ask for your aye vote.
Allen.
Aye.
Aye. Anderson. No. Bates. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. No. Block. Aye. Canella. Aye. De Leon. Fuller. No. Gaines. No. Gaggiani. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Hancock. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Hill. Aye. Wisso. Aye. Huff. Aye. Jackson. Aye. Lara. Leno. Leyva. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Morrell. No. Wynn. No. Nielsen. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. Stone. No. Vidak. Aye. Wachowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk aye. Hall aye.
Call absent members one time, please.
Bates. De Leon. Galgiani. Hancock. Hertzberg. Aye. Lara. Leno. Leyva. Aye. Morlock. No. Nielsen. Runner.
Ayes 24, noes 8. The measure passes. Senator Monning, for what purpose do you rise?
Yes, Madam President, on condition of the file, just an update. Colleagues, little afternoon, we've done 15 bills, 11 have been dispensed with, 4 are on call. We have about 22 remaining. So do the math. There's been some good engagement, some good discussion on some important issues. Let's keep pushing forward, and we reward those who are concise. Thank you.
Mr. Majority Leader, I would add that we all should be reminded that discussion and debate should be focused on the measure being debated. And secondly, if a member has closed, that will be the final mic recognized once the member is closed, has closed. With that, we will continue on. File item 33, Senator Mendoza. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 1225 by Senator Mendoza and Ackerlane to teachers.
Senator Mendoza.
Thank you, Madam President. Members, California is home to 300,000 teachers who work tirelessly to prepare our children for the ever-evolving 21st century. Unfortunately, over the last decade, there has been a 70% reduction in the number of individuals preparing to become teachers in our state. In 2015, 22,000 new credentialed teachers were needed, but only 15,000 were acquired. An unhealthy school environment, lack of appreciation for the profession, work dissatisfaction have contributed to the declining number of teachers. SB 1225 helps to address the teacher shortage crisis in California by establishing a teacher bill of rights to ensure California's teachers are provided an environment to deliver the optimal educational learning experience to our students. Madam President, I respectfully ask for your aye vote today.
Thank you. Any discussion or debate? Any discussion or debate in the measure? Seeing none, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Anderson. Bates. Bell. I. Berryhill. No. Block. I. Canella. De Leon. Fuller. No. Gaines. No. Gaggiani. Glazer. I. Hall. I. Hancock. Hernandez. Hertzberg. Hill. Wesso. I. Huff. No. Jackson. I. Lotta. Leno. Leyva. I. Liu. I. McGuire. I. Mendoza. Mitchell.
Aye.
I. Monning. I. Morlock. No. Morrell. No. Wynn. I. Nilsson. Pan. I. Pavley. I. Roth. I. Runner. Stone. No. Vidak. No. Wachowski. I. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Call absent members once, please.
Allen. Anderson. No. Bates. Canella. De Leon. Galgiani. I. Hancock. Hernandez. I. Hertzberg. I. Hill. I. Lotta. Leno. Mendoza. I. Nilsson. Runner. Allen.
Ayes 22, noes 9. The measure passes. File item 34 has been dispensed with. File item 35. Senator Mendoza? Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 1332 by Senator Mendoza, enacting to firearms.
Senator Mendoza.
Thank you, Madam President. Members, I'm here to present SB 1332, which allows for a gun owner to lend their firearm to an individual who is a cohabitant or visiting their property if certain conditions are met. This bill also allows for safekeeping or storage purposes when a registered firearm is maintained locked or inoperable for a period not to exceed 30 days. It is also critical that laws regarding firearms are consistent and uniform, which raises the issue of joint registration. Joint registration has been occurring when a firearm is brought into California from another state where joint registration exists. Moreover, it has been occurring by default in our state. This bill will require the Department of Justice by January of 2019 to modify its computer system to reflect what is already currently happening so that both spouses and domestic partners may explicitly be listed as joint owners of a firearm. Allowing for joint spousal registration in California will bring consistency to law for a practice that is already occurring in our state. SB 1332 will ensure that the safety of Californians by establishing a reasonable requirements for the loan and safekeeping of a firearm, and will also bring consistency to California's firearm laws. And I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. Any discussion or debate on this measure? Any discussion or debate? Seeing none, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. I. Anderson. No. Bates. Bell. I. Berryhill. No. Block. I. Canella. De Leon. Fuller. No. Gaines. No. Galgiani. I. Glazer. Hall. I. Hancock. Hernandez. I. Hertzberg. I. Hill. Wesso. I. Huff. No. Jackson. I. Lotta. Leno. Leyva. Liu. I. McGuire. Mendoza. I. Mitchell.
Aye.
I. Monning. I. Morlock. No. Morrell. No. Wynn. Nilsson. Pan. I. Pavley. I. Roth. Runner. Stone. No. Vidak. Wykowski. I. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Call absent members one time.
Bates. Canella. De Leon. Glazer. I. Hancock. Hill. I. Lotta. Leno. Leyva. I. McGuire. I. Wynn. No. Nilsson. Roth. No. Runner. Vidak. No.
Ayes 21, noes 11. The measure passes. File item 36. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 1389 by Senator Glazer, enacting to interrogation.
Senator Glazer.
Madam President, members, Senate Bill 1389 will require the electronic recording of interrogations for any person suspected of homicide. Current law already requires the custodial interrogation of juveniles suspected of homicide that they be videotaped. Videotaping interrogations allows law enforcement to develop the strongest evidence possible to help convict the guilty. It also helps guard against false confessions. The electronic recording of interrogations goes to the heart of the criminal justice system to accurately ascertain the facts surrounding criminal offenses so that perpetrators are correctly identified and punished. This bill will improve criminal investigation techniques, document false confessions when they occur, reduce the likelihood of wrongful conviction, and further the cause of justice in California. The amendments in Senate appropriations allow for audio recording in addition to video recording and significantly reduce costs for law enforcement. This bill passed out of public safety with unanimous bipartisan support. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you. Discussion or debate? Senator Hernandez.
Thank you, Madam President. Members, I rise in support. Electronic recording of custodial interrogations results in many benefits to law enforcement agencies. First, recording creates an objective, comprehensive record of the interrogation, which will help avoid disputes as to what was said and done by the participants. Second, recording enhances public confidence in law enforcement while reducing the number of civilian complaints against officers. And lastly, recording captures subtle details that may be lost if unrecorded, which help law enforcement better investigate the crime. With that, members, I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Any further discussion or debate? Senator Glazer, would you like to close?
I would just like to thank my joint author from Covina for his help and support, and respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Aye. Bates. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Aye. Block. Aye. Canella. Aye. De Leon. Fuller. Gaines. Galgiani. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Aye. Hancock. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Wisso. Aye. Huff. Aye. Jackson. Aye. Lotta. Leno. Leyva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Aye. Morrell. Wynn. Aye. Nilsson. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. Stone. Vidak. Stone, aye. Vidak, no. Wykowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Call absent members one time.
Bates. De Leon. Fuller. Gaines. No. Galgiani. Hancock. Lotta. Leno. Mendoza. Morrell. No. Nilsson. Runner.
Ayes 27, noes 3. The measure passes. File item 37. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 823 by Senator Block, enacting to human trafficking.
Senator Block.
Thank you, Madam President. Members, this bill is particularly important to me because it relates to the saddest meeting I've had, actually, in my 8 years in the legislature. It was in my first year when one of my constituents, who was the mother of a young daughter 12 years old, came to my office and talked about the fact that one of her daughter's best friends, a middle school student, had gone joyriding with some high school boys. She thought she'd be gone for an hour. She left her school. And it was a year later, and she still hadn't returned.
Oh, my God.
And at first, there was a missing persons report. They thought she had run away. But later, she came back, and we later discovered she had been taken by these boys. It was not just joyriding with some high school boys. These were gang members. And she was then captured and held captive and proud. She was up and down the state of California. She was prostituted by these gang members for profit. She finally escaped. She finally came home, and when she told her story, and she got help to try to reintegrate into society. And when she told her story, she told about how she was asked many times by the guys who had captured her to go into the 7-Eleven and grab a pack of cigarettes for them, or to go and grab beer, just to basically shoplift on their behalf. And she did. She did what she was told because she was their captive. She was basically their slave. And when she got out of the lifestyle, when she finally broke free, she still now had these crimes haunting her. Now, in her case, she hadn't been prosecuted and convicted for these things that she admittedly did. But many victims are not as lucky. They get caught, they get prosecuted, and then they have criminal records, and these criminal records haunt them for life. They can affect their ability to get a job, their ability to get housing, their ability to get the proper education. Professionals in the field of reintegrating these girls, and they mostly are young girls, 12, 13, 14, 16 years old, those who are professionals at reintegrating these young girls into society say that these criminal convictions are one of the greatest obstacles in getting them back into a productive life. So what SB 823 does is it gives these victims a fresh start. It basically clears their slate. If the crime was a relatively minor crime, a nonviolent crime, and if the victim can show that the crime was a result of being in that lifestyle against their will, then it allows the victim to go to court and ask a judge to vacate any prior convictions they had while they were in that life, living that life, that terrible life. The judge, by the way, maintains discretion. He or she can refuse to vacate the judgment, but it creates a presumption that if it was while they were captive, it was a result of their captivity. By the way, this isn't a revolutionary bill. 15 other states already have this on the books. And this is a bill that is, for obvious reasons, supported by the Catholic Conference, the California Catholic Conference, California chapter of the National Association of Social Workers, Junior League of California, and others. And I ask my colleagues for an aye vote.
Thank you. Any discussion or debate on this measure? Any discussion or debate? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Allen? Aye. Anderson? No. Bates? Bell? Aye. Berryhill? No. Block? Aye. Canella? No. De Leon? Fuller? No. Gaines? No. Galgiani? Aye. Glazer? Aye. Hall? Aye. Hancock? Hernandez? Aye. Hertzberg? Aye. Hill? Aye. Hueso? Aye. Huff? No. Jackson? Aye. Lada? Leno? Leyva? Aye. Liu? Aye. McGuire? Aye. Mendoza? Mitchell? Aye. Mawning? Aye. Morlock? Morrell? No. Wynn? Nielsen? Pan? Aye. Pavley? Aye. Roth? Runner? Stone? No. Vidak? No. Wykowski? Aye. Wolk? Aye.
Call the absent members once, please.
Bates? De Leon? Hancock? Lada? Leno? Mendoza? Morlock? No. Wynn? Aye. Nielsen? Roth? No. Runner?
21 ayes, 11 noes. The measure passes. File item 38.